Topic number 2 for this week will be about adaptations. It's a very interesting lesson and we need to remember the main ideas of this lesson. Here are some pictures by which I will explain them briefly. As you can see over here, this animal has a special body part that helps it to stay alive. It is the long neck. So this giraffe uses its long neck to reach the leaves found on the tree tops. So with this long neck, it's able to find its food. So this is a kind of adaptation. So an adaptation is a body part that helps an animal or a living thing to stay alive. Over here, this animal, as you can see, it's sleeping during winter simply because it needs to save energy, because in winter we don't have plenty of food. So it prefers to go and sleep. We call it hibernation. So it's a way of behaving. So this bird is adapted to its habitat. Over here also we have a cheetah, as you can see, and this cheetah is hiding between the rocks, and the spots and the pattern of spots found on its body, they are very similar to the rocks. So in other words, it is blending with its surrounding or environment. Also, this is a way of acting. This is a kind of adaptation. Over here we have a very scary animal, and this animal, it wakes up during nighttime and sleep during daytime, simply because it will be active during night and it's very easy for it to find food. This we call it nocturnal. So we have here nocturnal, we have here camouflage, it's the blending, and we have here hibernation. Over here, as you can see, these birds, they prefer to change their home simply because the weather becomes too cold and it's so hard to find food. So they prefer to move to another place. This we call it migration. It's the way they behave to adapt to their new environment. Over here we have a very nice butterfly or a moth. Its wings, they are similar to the leaf. So it hides from the predators by standing on a leaf and not moving. So it's pretending to be a leaf. We call it mimicry. So all of these, they are ways by which animals, they can adapt to their environment. So adaptation is a body part or a way or a behavior an animal does to stay alive. So you need to watch the videos. They are videos from 2.1, 2.5 found on your dashboard, and please read your book as mentioned in this slide. Now let's solve this exercise by filling the number with the correct phrase. We have here to get food. So animals, they need to have adaptation to stay alive and to survive. So as you can see, they need to survive by getting food, by being safe, and by surviving in harsh climate. Harsh means very hard climate. It's extremely cold or extremely hot. Let's see. To get food, we have frog, lion, horse, and giraffe. Let's see which body part helps each animal to stay alive by getting its food. Sharp teeth. Which animal do you think it has sharp teeth? The frog, the lion, the horse, or the giraffe? It is the lion, so this is number 2. Long tongue. Which animal has a long tongue to catch insects? Just like this picture, it is the frog. It's number 1. Which animal, the horse or the giraffe, has long neck to reach the leaves found on the treetops? It is the giraffe. It is number 4. Now here, the flat teeth, they go to the horse because it needs to chew the grass. It's number 3. Now, to stay safe, animals, they need to hide from the predators. You have brown snakes, you have polar bears, you have a grasshopper. And each one needs to blend with its surrounding. Here we have blend with the snow. Which animal it's found in snowy places and its color is white so that it can camouflage and blend with the snow? It is number 2, which is the polar bear. Blend with the leaves. Which the leaves are green. Which animal is green and it can blend between the leaves? It is the grasshopper. This is number 3. Now what about blend with the snake? Which one it blends with the snake? With the sand. It is the brown snake. So see, same colors so that they can blend. Now to survive in harsh climate, you have Arctic willow plant and you have the walruses. Here we have a layer of blubber or fat that keeps the animal warm in very cold climates. Have fuzzy leaves so that the leaves will be protected and shielded from the frost and from the snowy weather. So here have a layer of blubber. It's for this animal, the walrus, number 2. And have fuzzy leaves. When I say leaf, it's a plant. Its name is Arctic willow plant. It's number 1. Now we need to write M if the sentence describe a mesquite tree, or C if the sentence describes a cactus. These 2 plants, they are considered to be desert plants. Okay, let's describe them in a very brief way. This is the mesquite tree. It has long and deep roots so that they can take the water, because we all know that the desert has very few water in its soil, and the soil, it's sandy, it's very dry, and the leaves that they are very small so that they do not lose water. Whereas the cactus has very thick stem to store water. And as you can see, it has shallow roots. The roots, they are not deep, just like this tree. So has long deep roots. Which plant has long deep root, M or C? It is M, the mesquite tree. Now has thick stem to store water. It is the cactus. For example, if you cut the stem of a cactus, you will see plenty of water inside. Has shallow roots. Shallow means that they are not deep. They are the opposite of this tree. So it is the cactus. Has small leaves so that they do not lose much water. It is the mesquite tree, as I mentioned. Now here we will talk now about, and we will solve an exercise about the desert animals. This is jackrabbit. As you can see, these long ears found for this Mr. Jackrabbit. This jackrabbit has long ears so that the heat will be released through the blood vessels. And the color of its fur is pale. It's not colorful so that it does not absorb heat. And also they sleep during the daytime and wake up during night time. That's why we call them nocturnal. So let's see sentence number 1 to complete it correctly. Jackrabbits have what to stay cool? Do they have blubber, which is the layers of fat, or they have large ears? As you can see in the picture, they have large ears. Number 2, many desert animals are nocturnal, which means, remember, and they are active at night. They do not sleep during the night. They are active and they sleep during daytime. 3, what body covering keep animals from absorbing too much heat? Are they dark and colorful or pale? They are pale colored animals. Here we have now 2 kinds of forests, the tropical rainforest and the temperate forest. Both they have tall trees and both they have so many plants and trees. But the special thing about them is that each kind of forest has a special kind of weather and special kinds of plants, animals, and soil. The temperate forest, we will start with this. It has the 4 seasons. It has cold winters, hot summers, and over here we see many tall trees, and we have animals that they are not colorful, like the squirrel, like the raccoon, like the deer, and also the soil over here is very rich in nutrients. Whereas this kind of forest, which is called the tropical rainforest, from its name, it has rainy weather throughout most of the year. All the time it's raining. And the leaves over here, they are very large, and they have a special characteristic is that they have something called a drip tip. Because it rains so much, here the rain must flow down from the leaves. That's why it has a drip tip. Over here, as I mentioned, we have many kinds of trees and many kinds of colorful animals. That's why it's called tropical. Now, let's put X if the sentence is describing a temperate forest. This kind of forest has seasons. So, the temperate forest, do they have the 4 seasons? Yes, they do. So, I will put an X. X means not wrong. X here means that this sentence corresponds to the temperate forest. Large leaves have grooves and drip tips. Which forest? The leaves, they have drip tips. They are the tropical rainforest and not the temperate. So we will not put X over here. Plants get a lot of rain and not much sunlight. We said that the temperate forest, they have the 4 seasons. They have hot summers and cold winters. So that's why they have a moderate weather. It doesn't rain all the year long. So this one is not for the temperate forest. Number 4, leaves fall off during fall season. So when we say season, it means the temperate forest. So it is for the temperate forest. Here, let's write true if the sentence is correct or false if the sentence is not correct. Now, mimicry is when dormice go into deep sleep. Remember we said that deep sleep during winter season is called hibernation and not mimicry. So this one is false. Number 2, skunks spray a stinky chemical if there is no predator. So the skunk has a special kind of protection. When it feels that there is danger around it, it will spray a bad smelling chemical. So do you think that if there is no predator, if there is no danger, does the skunk need to spray this chemical? It doesn't need to do that. So this one is false. Now number 3, hibernation occurs when one living thing imitates another in color or shape. So when I say the word imitates, means to pretend to be. So imitates means the mimicry and not hibernation. So this one is false. And remember, mimicry has I am I and imitates has I am I. Mimicry, hibernation, and camouflage are some kinds of adaptation used by animals to survive. It's true. So they are a special way of behavior. Animals, they have them so that they will stay alive and they can get food and to be able to survive. Now the ocean. We will now read each sentence to circle the animal related to it. Animals that live. We will now choose the animal that lives in the deepest dark water. So when we say deepest dark water, it means the place in the ocean where we don't have light at all. And to live there, we need to be smart and we need to have a special kind of adaptation. So is it the shark? Is it the anglerfish? Or is it the dolphin? Look at the anglerfish. We have a special fishing pole and and it lights over here. So simply because it needs light to hunt in the deepest dark water. And you can watch a video, a very interesting one found on your dashboard. Plant that has air bladder to float. Let's see which plant is considered to be an ocean plant. Is it the mesquite tree, the cactus, or the algae? Over here, these kinds of plants called algae, they are the main source of oxygen found on our earth. And they need a special structure to float. We call it air bladder. So they are the algae. Number 3, animals that migrate from one place to another to find food. Let's see which animal lives in the ocean and they migrate to find food. Is it the skunk which sprays the bad smell? Or the dormouse that sleeps during cold winter? Or the whales that they need to go from one place to another and they need to stay as groups so that they can find food? They are the whales.